about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
What is happening? Welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, where we mash together all your favorite motorsports, action sports, personalities, celebrities, and a little bit more. How's everything going, Amy Hood?
I am absolutely awesome. Just getting off Las Vegas Monster Jam World Finals. Hi, it's insane. I'm still here in Las Vegas, but it's been one epic weekend. I cannot wait to tell you all about it.
What is crazy, and the listeners are going to find their minds blown, you and I were both actually in Vegas for 3 days at the same time, never saw each other. I was there for a wedding. And
I actually saw your social media, and I saw that, and I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, there was no possible way. I was, what is Ric Flair, limousine riding, jet flying. Yeah, that was me this weekend. No, totally non-motorsports related, just I do have a funny story out front of the church. I was that guy that tried to bring beer into the church in Las Vegas, and I was told I had to go stand on the sidewalk and drink it. So that was me this weekend. We can get into God. Yeah, it was me this weekend. You wouldn't have been disappointed, trust me. But we'll get to that. But we got a fun show. Next week, we've got a slam-packed show. We got some massive guest announcements coming up later this week, and I mean massive as in like world-changing massive guests. So those are coming up next week. We'll get to those announcements later in the week. This week, Amy and I, we're doing a big Q&A segment in hour number 2. Shoot us your questions, Facebook Live, Twitter. I've already got, like 6 questions. But we're doing a big Q&A segment. Shoot those over. We've got a good friend of Amy's, winner of Monster Jam Double Down winner, Cory Rummell. He's going to be calling in. And we've also got Marty Fiolka with Cran, and he's going to dissect this new short course merger. We got more information on that. But we're going to take a short break, come back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at Jim Beaver 15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And we're going to get into talking all things Monster Jam and Las Vegas. Coming up here shortly, we got Cory Rummell. Amy will probably be able to tell us a little bit more about Cory as we get closer to that. But I got a text during the break, and they're like, you got to tell us a story about you and beer in church. And, well, people are texting me this, Amy Hood. I guess I have to do it. So I'll keep it short because we don't want to take up this whole segment. Yeah, no, it was actually pretty choice. So I wasn't in the wedding, right? But I was there, and my wife and daughter were in the wedding. So, like, I show up. I'm just like, they have this limo pull up, and, and they're like, well, you ride in the limo with the bride and all the bridesmaids or whatever because, like, I'm just, like, kind of loner guy, right? So I'm like, all right. So we get in this limo, right? No, I don't know. It's a very expensive limousine, top notch. Get in there. They got all the holes and ice chest or the spots for like the champagne and the booze and everything else. Nothing. I'm like, well, this stinks. Keep in mind this is an afternoon wedding, so everybody already been pre-gaming. And so you take the limo over to the church, and you go in, and they do their thing, and it's one of those little Vegas churches. It's not even a church; they call it a chapel, whatever. But it's one of those where you get married in Vegas, right? It's not like a real church. Anyways,
you have to dress up like Elvis Presley and Blondie.
Yeah, it's one of those Vegas things, right? Yeah. So, anyways, thing gets over. They got to shoot photos. I know all the bridesmaids. They're all standing around and everything else. Well, keep in mind, like, there's this thing on one side is a 7-Eleven and a strip mall, and on the other side of it is a motel that sells rooms by the hour. And so I'm like, all right, like this is, I'm like, okay, well, I was like, well, I'm going to go over to the 7-Eleven, right? Because obviously I'm not going to the hourly motel. So I go over to the 7-Eleven, I get a case of beer, I walk back onto the premises, and this guy, Juan, he was the limo driver, ends up, he goes, sir, he's like, you can't have this on here. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, this is a chapel. He's like, this is holy ground. And I looked at him, I said, this is holy ground. I said, there's a 7-Eleven right there, and there's an hourly motel right here. I said, literally, like, that butt up this. I said, this is holy ground right here? And the guy goes, yeah. And I go, so what do you want me to do with this beer? And he goes, well, if I was you, because I wouldn't let beer go to waste, he's like, I'd go stand on the sidewalk because that's not holy ground. So I walk 20 feet and I stand on the sidewalk. Meanwhile, all the bridesmaids, they're standing around. So there's me and like 6 bridesmaids with a bunch of beer standing on the sidewalk in front of this chapel. And I don't know, if you would have had a picture of it, it would have been the most funniest thing. I guess you had to be there. But anyways, I was the guy who got in trouble for bringing beer onto holy ground. So There you go, Amy Hood. How was your Vegas experience?
A lot better than yours, let's just say that. No, it was pretty epic. This was my second year at Monster Jam World Finals. I had a rough go. Like, it was a rough start. Couldn't get the truck working. It was all over the chicane on practice day. And the biggest thing is that we're down a day. So on Thursday is when we're supposed to do all of our testing, but it decided that, in Vegas, which is very weird, we're in the middle of the desert, that it was going to rain. So we bumped everything up a day, and, I wasn't, ready at that point. I wasn't prepared. We didn't know what we were doing with the truck, and it kind of threw everybody off their game. But, we worked on a couple things, and also we were supposed to have an hour of practice, free passes, before time qualifying. Well, little mishap with the legend Tom Entz, and it took a solid hour to get him recovered and fixed up, and boom, no more practice. I had 2 runs down Thunder Alley, and then I had to do time qualifying. So, it was just a rough start, but I cannot believe we pulled it all together. We went down for our hot lap on race day. The truck was handling like a dream, and it was so funny because I was so you get all hyped up in the moment. You're in Vegas. It's Thunder Alley. You're taking these trucks 70 miles down Thunder Alleyway. We don't get to those speeds in an arena. So, everything is just very overwhelming. And I could not believe, Jim, how calm I was sitting on the starting line on race day, packed stadium. If you've been to Sam Boyd, it is huge, and it was
massive.
Packed. There was not there was not a non-body in the seat. It was absolutely incredible this year.
I got to ask you,
our racing.
You are a Supercross moto chick, right? I mean, you grew up there. Sam Boyd is holy ground for, no pun intended to the earlier story, but it's holy ground for Supercross and motocross, right? I mean, that's everybody wants to race at Sam Boyd Stadium at some point in their career.
I know.
Do you ever figure, it's kind of surreal, you're not doing it on a dirt bike, but you're racing in Sam Boyd in a monster truck in front of a sellout. That's got to be pretty special.
It was, and I thought about that this weekend for sure. And it was really cool, though, too, because what I was saying earlier, on race day, I've never been so calm with the packed stadium, pressure's on. Won my first race against Mark List on El Toro, and I've been on tour with Mark, haven't beat him once all year. He's a great racer. But everything came together. My mental state was there. I didn't go out drinking and partying the night before. It's Vegas. It's so tempting. But everything came together. I killed it. Second race against Max D, which is on my social media. He won by a hair because he barrel rolled over the finish line, and I think barrel rolling gives you a little bit more forward momentum. But it was so cool, and you're right. I'm walking through the pits and walking through party in the pits and seeing everything happen, and people looking at me and running up to me and wanting an autograph, and people there know who you are. And every year I've been to Sam Boyd Stadium, I have been on the other side of the spectrum. I've been the fan. I've been the one, who sees a racer and it's ooh, there you are. It's so crazy that I've been able to flip-flop and work so hard that I'm on now that end of the spectrum. And I'm a lot more grateful for it because I see a lot of athletes in my time who walk through the pits with their head down. They don't want people to stop them. They don't want to sign autographs. But, when you work so hard and you've been a fan and you've grown up looking up to all these people and you've worked so hard that you finally earned that opportunity to be there and get to that point, man, I go and walk through the pits and I will sign anything else. Talk to everybody else. Take all the photos. I go through the pits so I can meet people who look up to me, because I remember how cool it is that, a pro athlete stops and takes a photo with me, and sometimes you're too embarrassed to ask. And I just appreciate it so much more. I think the fact that I've grown up this way, and I love it. It was
it's
so surreal.
Cool that somebody actually wants your autograph, right? It's I did something where somebody wants my autograph. I'm going to sign every single one of these. I get
people
that.
People are there to see you. There's only 37 drivers. And people are there to see you. In Double Down Showdown, there's 16 of us. People come, they know your face, they want to come and see you. And it's so humbling. It's so so badass. I love it. I will never not appreciate it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, and it's crazy, and we got to go to a break here in a minute, but like just being in Vegas around Monster Jam the week leading up, like everybody in Vegas is wearing Gravedigger shirts or zombie shirts, like, or
after. Oh my god.
Got VP. What is the VP the guy that did the front flip last year? Leo Donnell, right?
Yeah.
I saw so many Leo Donnell shirts because of the front flip this year. It was like, oh man, that guy's awesome. We're gonna go buy a shirt, and they all wore them this year. It was like it was crazy. Everybody was in Monster Jam apparel. I sat at the pool, and literally, like, the kids were running around in Monster Jam shirts. The dads had them on. Like, it was pretty rad. Like, Monster Jam must sell a grip load of T-shirts that week. Like, that would be a fun trivia question. We'd have to get Monster Jam involved. How many T-shirts does Monster Jam sell in a World Finals weekend? Because I guarantee you it's like 50,000 T-shirts. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it after, but I'll tell you all the crazy stories about Monster Jam World Finals.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a short break. We come back. We've got Cory Rummell on the line. He was your Double Down Showdown winner at the World Finals this past weekend. So we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver and Amy Hood here. We've got.
I just got a quick text from Cory. He's just going to call in 1 minute.
Okay.
So a little breakdown of this guy. Okay, so Double Down Showdown. 16 of us Monster Jam Triple Threat athletes are invited to the Double Down Showdown. Not everybody makes it in. There's only a couple spots available. But, Cory is an independent driver. So we talked about it before. We talked about the independent scene where, us Monster Jam drivers, we show up, we drive for the weekend, we fly home. Truck breaks, our crew chief are there, they fix it for us. The independents, they're the ones who are hauling their rig. Cory is currently driving back to Chicago right now.
He's blue collar, man.
Rig after a full. What's that?
I said he's blue collar. He hustles. I like it.
Oh, yep, exactly. So, he's running a Pirates Curse body. They, independents have the opportunity to run a Monster Jam body, but he works on that truck. He did everything. He built this truck from the ground up. Puts in the work. Something breaks, he's in the back fixing it. To be able to make it to the next round, he's the one, along with his crew, obviously, but, he puts in the work. And, he was up against Brandon Vincent and the Gravedigger for the final. And, Brandon's been on my tour all year. Brandon red lighted. So, we have one of those pro trees. Brandon red lighted. Even if Brandon red lighted, I think Cory would have took it. I feel like when you're an independent, you drive with so much more heart. You can really see it. I really saw the independents, effort that they put in this weekend, and they just have a little bit more. There's so much more to prove. There's so much more that goes into it that you can appreciate it. And I think when you understand everything about those trucks, you know where to push it. And I was so proud of him, and everybody in the pits were so stoked for his win because it went to someone so deserving. And it was really cool to see, the camaraderie in the pits and, and how they felt about Cory's win. I just think it was really cool.
Here he is. He's calling in right now. All right.
Awesome. Cory, we framed it for you, man.
All right. Cory Rummell, welcome to the line, man.
What's going on, guys?
Well, Amy was just giving us the grand intro for you, man. So I don't know. You don't need to tell us about yourself because Amy just told us everything, and she did a hell of a job about it. But congrats on the win, man. That's got to feel pretty darn special.
Oh, it definitely did. That's pretty much a highlight of my career so far.
Yeah. Well, I gotta ask you. I got to ask. I mean, we'll lead with this, and then Amy can take it from here. But this is like the one question I've got. I mean, you're an independent. You're racing Monster Jam, and I know how it is. Like my race programs, I own them, and then and I've got my guys that work on things. But like I know, like I go into a desert race, and it's like I take a chance, and it's like, oh man, we're gonna have to fix that. It's coming out of my pocket after this. Like I think about that. And you and Monster Jam, I mean, you guys destroy trucks. Is there part of you that at some point has to check up because you're like, man, I'm gonna have to wrench on this thing later?
To a point, depending, but pretty much I built the truck and I wrench on it and I fix it. I just don't have to pay the bill, but I have to spend all the hours in the shop to get it fixed. So depending on how much I want to work that week depends on how hard I want to drive.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You're like, oh, I want a week off. Maybe we're not going to try this crazy flip here or something, right?
Well, it definitely is something in the back of your mind because if you're like, man, I want to, something you want to do or go on vacation, like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit easier this week just so I can have some time to go do it.
Yeah.
Because just like in any racing, it takes up all your time.
Yeah, for sure. So I know, Amy, you've got like a string of questions. I'm going to just let you run with this, Hood.
Yeah, I mean, I want to walk through the weekend here. I was telling a little bit about my experience at, Monster Jam World Finals 18, 19. I don't even know what it is anymore. World Finals 19. It's a little bit different for me because I came from obviously a motocross background. I've been that fan that goes to Supercross at Sam Boyd Stadium, and I've been going there as a fan. I've been chilling in the seats. I've been walking through the pits, looking up at racers, and it's really cool and humbling to have the roles reversed, and people are there to come and watch you, and it's just so. It's so surreal, being there at a place that I'm now flip-flopped and I'm able to compete in a stadium that I went to watch at. What's it like for you? I know you're, a generational driver and you grew up with monster trucks in general. Talk us about kind of your history and how, you got to where you are now and what's it like for you as, a four-wheel enthusiast, not necessarily a two.
Gotcha. Pretty much I was never actually into four-wheel drives when I was a younger kid. I lived kind of in the city, like with my mom, and then I ended up moving out to my dad. Yeah, went out to the country, and then that's when I got my 4-wheel drive truck, and that was probably when I was around 15. And then pretty much I built a mud truck, and that's what I've been racing and playing with for years. And then I finally got the chance to work for a monster truck team, just because I was always watching them on TV when I got older. But when I was a kid, I never followed it. I couldn't tell you anything that happened with monster trucks back in the day. It's kind of a weird, like everyone that's in this business usually has history in it, but I don't have any really.
Well, you have a lot more than a lot of other people. The fact that you can build these things from the ground up. It's hard for me to even be able to communicate sometimes with my crew chief. My crew chief, I guess, if you will, on two wheels is my dad. And he races, so I can tell him a weird sound and he understands what I'm saying. But you have a lot of, you got a really special tool in your back pocket. Monster Jam hiring a lot of these young kids off the street, people with very different backgrounds, come from different walks of life, but who know nothing about a truck. You have this ability where you know exactly what's going on when you're, heading 70 miles down Thunder Alley. From being able to have that experience, you find that's a lot more of a competitive advantage.
It definitely is. The only difference is like pros and cons about it is like, yeah, I know exactly what's going on in the truck and all that stuff, but the issue is in the back of my mind, that's what I'm thinking about more than sometimes when I'm driving. I have to learn to throw that out the window. But when you're some of these newer guys that don't have to worry about the truck, they can only focus 100% on driving, so then they can just rely on their crew chief to do everything else, and their mind's a lot more free and clear to run than what just say mine would be. Yeah, so it's definitely got its pros and cons, but I mean it's mixed either way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I see that with the independents on my tour. When, and you can really see it when they're holding back and they don't want to, but we're coming into like a 4-show weekend, and you can really, there's so much more emotion, I think, behind the independent drivers. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, no, there definitely is, and it's pretty much just the nature of the beast. You just always have to remember that it's still business. So you just can't, drive without your head, because it's still business and needs to make money, because if not, you can't keep doing it. So, sometimes we can definitely let loose and hang out and just do whatever we want. And most of the time, 90% of the time, that is the case. But there's some that you just have to watch what you do and how you do, and still do a, awesome job, but you just can't go hog wild. It's just like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a lot funner.
Yes. So what's the next step for you now? You made this big statement, as an independent, winning Double Down Showdown. You got your chance to be up against the big boys. I know you have already in Rogue, and being with the before you drove for Pirates Curse, you had an opportunity to play in big stadiums. What was it like in Sam Boyd? Was it any different feeling, being that it was a World Finals? Did you have a little bit more to prove, or was it just kind of like any other day in the office for you?
It's definitely, I'm more familiar and comfortable with it, but it's still definitely a bigger stadium, a bigger deal, just because, like, being a Double Down Showdown was, like, to me, more pressure than being in the big show itself, just because you have to win in order to continue on to the big show. But if you're already in the big show, even if you mess up in racing, you're still coming back on the track. So to me, it was definitely a lot more pressure, and I've just, throughout the years of running, I've learned to just keep myself calm and just do what I do and comes natural without really thinking about it. That's why, like, before I go out for freestyle, I don't even look at the track. I look at, like, one jump I want to hit, and that's it.
Really?
I do not, honestly, I don't go out there and look at it, because you kind of psych yourself out or plan stuff, and then when you're out there running, it resembles it. It's like, you're like, wow, he drove around trying to hit that one jump. Like, to me, it looks like it's been routine, and I don't want that. I want to go out there and do whatever come natural, and then most of the time, it looks pretty sweet.
Making freestyle is what you're doing.
Yeah. See, I did not think that was the mindset. I thought that people go up, before the track, once the track gets built, they go up in the box there and scope it out and plan their moves. Because of the fact
a lot of people do.
Yeah, and you know what? You can tell it's routine, and I just I didn't know that, you went out and just, technically you can obviously say now at this point you would just went out there and you sent it.
Yeah. Just send it. That's
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you can have a routine and then it goes out the window. It's like, forget it. We're just going to send this thing, and I get that.
Yeah, you take one bounce the wrong way and you're going a different direction.
We're just
pretty much
wing it.
Yeah, and the biggest thing too, I don't know, I could be wrong in this one, but for me, it's like if you go out there and you're standing on the track, you're looking at a jump. You're like, okay, this jump's 10 feet tall. It's taller than me. You're like, wow, this thing's stupid big. If I hit this, I don't know what's going to happen. But then when you're sitting in the truck 10 feet in the air, you're looking down at the jump, and you're like, that's not that bad. So it's like if you walk out there, you kind of, I'm not scared either way, but you kind of psych yourself out for something that you already know you can do just because you're standing on the ground looking at it. You need the actual perspective of it, of when you're actually going to be driving.
Yeah, it definitely makes
sense. Do you plan any type of, like Barry, for example, he always plans to go out of the stadium and come back in and hit it. And you can really tell the people who have a lot of creativity when they go out there, and they're not just trying to hit jumps, but they have some, creative idea to stand out and do something different. Did you have one of those things that you were planning on?
There was something I wanted to plan on doing just because I tried it once throughout the year, but I definitely took a wrong kick and didn't last near as long as I wanted to. But I wanted to try the corkscrew like I did before, and what better place to do it than there. I wanted a backflip also, but my main thing was I wanted to go out just for being the first time in the World Finals. I wanted to at least be able to make more than 3 or 4 hits. So all I wanted to do was at least go out there and make some hits before, because a lot of people rolled over or broke after one hit.
Yep.
And I'm like, my first time, even if it's not nothing crazy and stupid, I want to at least go out there for a little while. Yeah. And that's what I did. It didn't do exactly what I wanted. I definitely should have went a lot harder, but it's like I said, I wanted to last. I didn't want to just go out and make one hit and be done.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy.
You did what you needed to do.
Yeah, you did what you needed to do. You took the win. Congrats, buddy. We got to go to a short commercial break, but looking forward to catching up again soon.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much.
All right, thanks. And we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI. It's not a sibling rivalry. It's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
And we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And the man of the hour, the guy that I don't know if there's anybody I would rather be talking to right now on the planet than you, Marty, because I got questions and you got answers, and we can finally talk.
Man, that's a big build-up right there. I think there's a lot more people that would be more than me interesting to talk to. But anyway, good morning, Jimmy. And, yeah, there's a lot going on, as you know. I'd be happy to answer whatever I can at this point.
Yeah, well, I know, I mean, we can go back, to Crandon last year, the year before. I mean, you guys at Crandon, you guys have been building something special for a long time. And, and I got to see it in the flesh Sunday, last Labor Day, and how special that was. And you said, it was at that point, it wasn't about torque. It's not about Lucas. It's just about what's best for short course. Now, fast forward a few months. I know you guys have been working through the off season on a few things. But how did this whole unification kind of come into play? I think that's what everybody wants to know. Like, and how's the schedule going to look? There's so much out there, and I know you probably can't answer it all right now because you don't know, but what can you tell us about how this came to be and where we're at?
Yeah, I can't talk about everything because I don't know everything so far. As you know, the unification was always kind of in the back of our minds, in the sense that, we built the Crandon World Cup together with Red Bull Signature Series and Amsoil to kind of create a one-day Super Bowl of short course racing, no points, east and west, everybody together, biggest crowds, biggest purse, biggest television package. That was always the goal. In the last 2 years, I think we were really successful in creating that. And I just wanted to show people how exciting this could be if we could put the politics aside. And there's reasons for the politics, and there's reasons why, to building a unified national touring series like everybody wants, like it was back in the days of Cory, was the goal. But, we just kind of came to the realization when we started adding up truck counts and things, all the tracks got together here, the Midwest tracks, which was Crandon, ERX, and Bark River, and we all kind of looked at each other and were very concerned about the fact that the series that was there wasn't really able to really guarantee us much of anything in terms of truck counts, in terms of some of the distribution on television wasn't the strongest, and that's something that we all wanted. So basically we sat around the table and decided we were going to go a separate way. And certainly we had been talking a little bit to Lucas about a few things over the years. Certainly the unification of rules was a big thing that we all wanted. And as you know, Jimmy, last year we had to actually hire Tommy Morris, as part of the smartest guy in off-road racing, to get us a unification rules thing that we call the balance of performance, where East Coast and West Coast rules could kind of match and mesh. But it's still a lot of work, and it's still hard to do, and it's still not a perfect, science. And to be honest with you, the other thing that really came into play that we all noticed was the dramatic increase in success at desert racing. You can see how big King of the Hammers was this year. The Mid-400, of course, was a huge deal. And, the short course, by even our own admission, by the admission even of some of our partners and sponsors, was just not at a place where there was any much momentum. And, we just had to all kind of come together. And frankly, I can tell you that the Friday of the Mint 400, by the guys from Crandon and Bark River and ERX were in Vegas. We actually drove down on Friday of the Mint 400 to meetings with Lucas, and we had about 10 people in a room and locked ourselves in for a couple hours, and basically just came up with something we thought was going to work for this year. And then moving forward, it's not kind of the same program that the guys out here in the West Coast have, but it certainly is a step towards unifying the sport, and I think that's what we all want.
Yeah, well, and I think, like you said, it's going to take a process. I mean, because as much as people, on the outside see and the trucks may look the same, there's different rule sets for the Midwest, versus the West Coast, and then, you and I both know that, the travel budgets, sponsorship has already been set. I mean, guys are selling sponsorship for 2019 right now, so it's, there was a lot that goes into it. And, and I knew if this ever did happen, it was going to be a process. It's not like you snap your fingers and it's done. It's going to take a year or two for us to really, see how this thing really meshes together. But I got to tell you, Marty, I'm very, very excited. I mean, this is something that I think anybody in off-road has wanted to see for a long, long time. And I'm just so excited to see Crandon and see the West Coast. I mean, last year it was special with Carl coming back and things like that. But, to see what Crandon's going to look like this year and next year, and, and even Bark River and ERX, this is an exciting time for short course. I mean, everybody I talk to, there's not one person that's negative on this. It's so positive, and that's exciting.
It is, it is exciting. And look, let's face it, Jimmy, I think I probably shared with you the intense amount of work it took to get the World Cup even together for one day a year, and to get the Ryan Beats and the Carl Renezetters and the Bryce Menzies to come to Crandon, even though that's where they really wanted to come, and overcome the battles with that, and overcome some of the rules issues with that, and just the amount of work and momentum it took. I mean, all these tracks, including Crandon, aren't very big operations. I mean, there's two full-time people at Crandon, and I'm not one of them. And to do all that effort now with this unification, we can really focus on the future and focus on really promoting what's going to happen. I mean, the June weekend got moved on Crandon side, basically to help the Wheatlands folks, and there's certainly been give and take back and forth. Unlike what everybody thought, nobody really thought that the powers that be could sit around a table and actually agree on much of anything, but that was not the case. I have to hand it to the guys at Lucas, to Richie Lewis and Bob Pattison, and those folks. They actually invited us and really kind of sat down with a sense of purpose and a sense of, hey, we really need to this. We all love the sport, but we've got to get this together. And it's real simple in terms of history. I mean, you can only have one series. You can only have one IndyCar car. You can only have sports car racing on one sanction, NASCAR, Formula One, and all the works, although there's only one, because that's how you're going to, focus the attention and focus the professionalism. And, desert racing is kind of that way too, although, you have Spore, but they're really a Mexican, Baja-based racing organization, best in the deserts in the States, so that's a little bit different. But other than that, fighting two series has never seemed to ever work, and in this case it wasn't working. And, it works. The future is pretty exciting. I mean, we're going to start with an East Midwest championship that's going to include 4 rounds of racing, 2 at Crandon, 1 at ERX, and 1 at Bark River. The hope is that we're going to get a lot of people coming from Utah the weekend before Crandon Labor Day back to the World Championship and World Cup. It's exciting because we're also able through, again, this is part of the negotiation. You've got Scott Douglas, who's an AMSOIL-sponsored racer. He's going to be racing in the Lucas Oil Series in Pro 4, which they're excited about. But at the same time, we're able to maintain our relationship with AMSOIL at Crandon, and we're still going to be racing for the AMSOIL Cup at the end of the day on Sunday, Pro 2s versus Pro 4s, and Lucas Oil is going to be covering that. So there's a give and take matchup everywhere, but I think that's what you have to have. I mean, it's the only way it's going to really move forward. So we don't really know what the schedule is going to be like next year, but between next year and 2020, obviously, there's going to be a lot of changes. Next year's the 50th anniversary of short course racing, as you know, and we're getting ready to announce some pretty cool plans at Crandon for next Labor Day 2019. It's going to be pretty much as crazy as we can make it.
Yeah, it's Crandon every year is crazy, but I think there was a joke on Race Desert, and I chimed in there. I said, all right, we finally get what we wanted. It's the East versus West slip and slide contest at Crandon.
Yeah, well, we have the slip and slide. Yeah, we actually are at Crandon, of course, is embracing that guy who has the slip and slide, and actually enhancing his facility with some trenching and some drainage so that he can keep that going. Typical Crandon, right? But what's really exciting this year, Jimmy, is Labor Day for one. I mean, never mind the World Championship, World Cup. Now we've added, as you know, the Ultra 4 the guys that are racing at the Hammers for their, Nitto Tires Triple Crown deal, where they're racing the three biggest races in the United States. They're racing at King of the Hammers, the Mint 400, and then Crandon. And Friday night at Crandon is going to be an Ultra 4 shootout in our back off-road park, which is going to be activated for the first time this year. It's 100 acres that we have that we ran out of room, so we're going to have to, make the park active, and we're going to have Jeep clubs and 4x4 clubs there, working with BFG on their unlimited off-road show. But part of that is adding the Ultra 4. So Friday night, as part of the Forest County Potawatomi Night of Thunder, the main show is going to be the Ultra 4 guys running on kind of a combined course between the off-road course in the back and the short course. And then Sunday they're going to run heads up like everybody else at the pro division for the World Cup, and we'll win World Championship titles on Sunday. And that's been the biggest kind of piece of excitement that we've had so far. But there's definitely more coming.
Yeah, well, and I can tell you because I've seen Ultra 4s run on short course before, or short course tracks. They're fast. It's like it's like it's like watching a Pro 4 just a hair slower. But I mean, it's people thinking Ultra 4s coming to Crandon isn't a big deal. No, wait till you see these things run. It's insane how fast they are. Short course.
It's going to be a big deal. The only requirement we had on those guys was to keep some semblance of tire size, so that they look like Ultra 4 cars, not going to some 33-inch tire on those. Yeah. But we're not sure exactly, how the short course may work. We may, on Sunday may add the rock obstacle infield or something if we could do that, just to add a little bit of spice to it. But the whole point of this thing is we were trying to give our Midwest fans a whole lot to come and watch, and I think, like you said, the opportunity to finally watch everybody together. We don't know if everybody's going to make it this year. We think there's a lot. We already talked to the Jeremy McGrath of the world and Brian Deegans of the world, and certainly, Rob McCachran. And I know Menzies is already scheduled to be there. So, it's going to be an all-out shootout, and there's zero politics. In fact, it's the other way now. There's nobody looking over their shoulders and asking permission to go to Crane and running well. So, it's going to be an interesting year. It's a transitional year. But short course racing kind of deserves that, and I think that, certainly the Lucas Oil folks have spent an inordinate amount of resources and time and money to bolster the sport for years, and I think now they get a national footprint, and we'll see how it all plays out. Like you so accurately said, budgets are budgets, and traveling is traveling, and, we'll see how this all plays out. But the hard work really starts now in terms of, really promoting the idea of one series and promoting how it's going to work, and getting the rules together and making sure everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's I think it's exciting, and I'm sure in the next couple of weeks and months, things are going to come out, and we'll get more information. But I appreciate you taking the time calling in, Marty. I mean, it's definitely, this is something guys like you and I have dreamed about for a long, long time. And, the day has finally come where it's here. And, it's like Christmas time, I guess, for us, right? I mean, it's like, man, this is exciting. I'm excited about 2018.
How about this? How about it's maybe that way for you, Jimmy. For me, it's like sometimes it is Christmas Day, and sometimes it's be careful what you wish for, right? You're never sure where it's going to go. But it's all it is, really. It's staying at 10,000 feet, looking down, and trying to see what's best, really what's going to work for everybody. Cost cutting is part of that deal. All kinds of things are in play now to make sure that the sport grows. It's a great sport. It's a great form of motorsports. It just needed to get together and just all pull in one direction. I think now we've got that opportunity, thanks to everybody at Lucas and all the Midwest tracks and the folks at ERX, Park River, and of course at the Crandon. I think we're all heading in the same direction right now.
Yeah, well, definitely good stuff, Marty. I appreciate you taking the time to call in, and we'll definitely have to catch up soon, my friend.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Marty.
Bye.
All right, that was Marty Fiolka with Crandon Off-Road. He's also an Off-Road Hall of Famer. We're going to take a short break. We come back. More coming at you here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the Amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water. Right on the money.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at ImpactRaceProducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here. Coming up in hour number 2 here shortly, we got Joe Duncan, our Optimist segment, with a couple of special guests. We've also got a big Q&A segment with Amy and I, and we're going to be talking some Supercross and who knows what else. We had some Formula One shenanigans over the weekend, the kickoff to F1. I don't know, maybe we'll get into that. We got IndyCar, Long Beach Grand Prix coming up, Stadium Super Trucks, Formula Drift. It's like next week I need to have like 3 shows, I think. We got so next weekend is what? We've got Formula Drift, we've got UTV World Championship, we got NHRA in Vegas, we've got San Felipe 250. Got a Snore off-road race. It's just crazy. Like, how can you pack so much stuff into one weekend? It's like I said, next week's show is going to be off the chain. I don't even know the guest list yet, but I know like every single segment we're going to have somebody on air in, which is always exciting as a radio host, man. You just bam, 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 bam. But it's going to be a massive, massive show. But if you guys have any guest suggestions for next week, FD, IndyCar, UTV, off-road, hit us up in the comments. Would love to have it, man. Love to hear what you guys think, because next week we got some slots to fill, and it's going to be a little off the chain, that's for sure. But big thanks to Marty Fiolka for coming in and dissecting everything that's happening with Short Course and this big merger. And we're going to take a short break. We come back, kicking off hour number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. you can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to your favorite action motorsports radio show and a little bit more, the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. So we've been talking some Monster Jam, some short course, and man, we've got some desert racing coming up, UTV World Championship and Score San Felipe 250. We've got some big announcements with the RZR Star Car for the UTV World Championship next week. We'll be making those announcements, I don't know when, obviously probably later this week, maybe the start of next week. But we have a massive guest coming into the team with Jolene Van Vliet and myself. I'm very excited about it. It's one of those where I'm kind of gag ordered at the moment in regards to what I can say. But this one is definitely... I mean, look at our track record. We've had Tanner Faust, we've had Travis Pastrana, we've had Antron Brown and Steve Torrance. So you can only imagine what we've got up our sleeves, but it's going to be quite fun at the UTV Worlds. And this guy actually knows how to drive a race car, and he's also kind of a mainstream name. So I don't know if I've hinted enough at it, but yeah, you guys are really gonna get a kick out of who's team with Jolene and I at the UTV World Championship. And I also do have to give a plug in. I kind of somehow inherited kind of basically an automotive media company, and I bought it. But so Down and Dirty Radio Show is going to have a new Instagram account. I don't quite know what the handle's going to be quite on it yet, but I inherited an account, and I didn't know how to approach this, right? Most people, I didn't want all of a sudden the Down and Dirty Radio Show to pop up with an Instagram account with 200,000 followers and everybody go, well, how did you get 200,000 followers for your radio show account in one day? So I bought a company and I'm rechanging the name, and it's irrelevant. It's an automotive media company. So we are going to have an Instagram account for the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Just so happens to have 200,000 followers already. So there you go. That's why you're going to see an Instagram account for the Down and Dirty Radio Show with 200,000 followers. But that should launch later this week. We're going through the process, cleaning it up a bit, taking some posts out that weren't quite kosher with the way I do things. But yeah, it should be fun. So be looking for that later this week, those of you that are on Instagram, and we'll make the announcement. And any listener to the show, make sure when you follow it, send me a DM or something like that. I'll follow you back on the account for sure. Always like to hear what's happening with our followers. And if you guys missed it, a couple weeks ago, I dropped basically Mint 400. We had an amazing show there live on Fremont with Tiffany Stone. So that's up on the Project Action feed on iTunes as well. But we're going to take a short break. We come back. We got our Optimus segment brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters, talking some UTV racing and Terracross, all that and more coming up hour number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. This is our Terracross Starts with Optimus segment, brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters, starting every Polaris RZR in the Terracross Championship. I'm joined on the line by my good friend and regular guest here, Joe Duncan, as well as Mike Chobak and Adam Murillo with Renegade Products USA. How's everything going, guys?
Good. Good.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you guys. So, Joe, man, you got to bring us in the loop here. I know you said last week we had some big announcements coming. So we got Renegade Products teaming with Terracross. Give us a lowdown on this relationship. I know Mike's going to be racing. Adam, you're with Renegade. So, Joe, kind of fill us in on all the details here, buddy.
Yeah, we had some good meetings at SEMA. Kind of seems like we're a lot of things started last year with a lot of different potential Terracross partners, and had some great meetings with Renegade and the owner of Renegade and Mike Chobak who connected us. And over the last whatever many months it's been, we've been slowly but surely putting together a program, and Renegade's going to clean up Terracross, and they're going to be the official partner of our wash bay and our cleaning of the machines. It is rough, tough, and muddy Terracross, and as you know, Jim, from firsthand, we've been known to get a little muddy. North Carolina, ERX, we get a little dirty, and the one thing we haven't had in the past is a cleaning company to make these things look really good for all the Terracross sponsors and athletes in between races and before we get to the next event. And thankful and very honored to have Renegade on board with us and have Mike Mike's always wanted to race Terracross as well as some of our other buddies, and each one of them has been trying to find a partner to come in, and Mike and Renegade are teaming up. Mike does shows and stuff for Renegade or with Renegade, and they have a great relationship, and now he's going to be helping at all the Terracross four-wheel jamboree events, and yeah, it's a great fit. You couldn't find a better thing to clean up the Terracross machine.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Adam, you realize what Renegade's in for, because at one point last year, I think I asked Joe. I said, Joe, why do we even wrap these cars? Because you can't see them. I said, it's just all mud. Like I said, I think we could save some budget if we just planned on them being muddy and just didn't even wrap them. I think it'd save a few $100s a car. And he just laughed, But like, you guys, seriously, man, this is gonna be a test for Renegade.
Hey man, we're ready to go. We got all of our new products that just came out, and we got the wash bay going, and we're ready to take it on.
Yeah. So, Mike, man, what drew you to Terracross? Joe said you've been wanting to do this for a while. I'm stoked to have you out there. We'll be banging doors together this year. But what's been the what's got you hooked on Terracross? You got to be pumped on this year.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been racing for a while. I've raced almost everything. I've raced works races. I've raced some supermoto back in the day and motocross. It just the Terracross series always has been exciting. I like short course style racing. And I'm just excited to go out and battle with a bunch of people. A couple friends that'll be out there too, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be awesome for sure. So, Mike, give us a lowdown on Renegade. I know obviously you guys have cleaning products and things like that, but give us a lowdown on all things Renegade. What should our listeners know about the product and and what you guys are going to be doing in Terracross?
Well, the product's awesome. I use it on all my personal stuff. Their spray wax, their vinyl cleaner. They're all-purpose cleaner to help clean the units before or after races. Gets all the dirt off. Wheel cleaner. It's all works great. Helps dust and dirt not stick to the machines. And it smells good. Everyone says it smells like with that.
Oh man! So Joe, I mean, this is pretty exciting. I know, it's a big undertaking keeping these things clean, but Renegade, welcome to the Terracross family. You got anything else for us, Joe, with these guys?
Yeah, I think we've got a wash bay setup that's going to be kind of somewhat open to the public and be able to see what the product does do and can do, and they're going to have a booth on site at the event to hand out samples as well as to sell products, and you can always go to renegadeproductsusa.com, and order your stuff as well.
Yeah. So Adam,
I love this because I just remember how long it took me to wash my razor and my helmet and everything at that last round of Terracross, and it honestly took me about 35 minutes.
Yeah,
there was no wash bay. And so somebody would be washing beside me, and it would be getting mine even more muddy. But, no, I think this is really cool, and it's very much needed. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to play in the mud, but it ain't fun to try to get it off.
Yeah. So yeah, Adam, I mean, give us a lowdown. I know Renegade, renegadeproductsusa.com is a website. You guys have social media handles, I'm assuming. Where can people find out more information on the products?
Absolutely. We got our Instagram and our Facebook at Renegade Products USA. Also, like Joe said, renegadeproductsusa.com. We just came out with some really cool off-road detailing kits. Comes with a foam cannon and all the products you'd need to keep your UTV clean. So we're pretty excited about that.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to call in. I'm excited about this relationship for Terracross. Sometimes there's something that just makes sense with a series, and I feel like this just makes sense with Terracross. Like sometimes you look at it and it's like Joe likes to use the term no-brainer, but I look at this and I'm like, this makes sense for everybody involved, including us drivers. So I'm like, I'm pumped on this, man. I'm excited to to get out to the first round there, and I guess what are we 2 months out, Joe?
Yeah, a little over 2 months out, and maybe we'll have to have Adam send you down a little kit for the star car there, and we know that you get that thing dirty once in a while.
Oh, it's between that and my razors in the shop. Yeah, it's pretty rowdy.
Absolutely, I'd love to. Send me over some information. We'll connect through Joe.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely connect. I'm sure Amy could use something for her fleet of dirt bikes too. It's those things get pretty.
Hey, no. I drive a monster truck. That thing gets dirtier than all of your stuff put together, and it takes a heck of a lot longer time. So, I mean, I would love a care package to give to my crew boys because those boys are hard at work when I get that thing.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot, man. Congrats on this new relationship, and we'll definitely touch base soon. And Mike, we'll see you out there in a couple of months out at round number 1.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
All right,
Thank you guys.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, thanks a lot.
All righty.
Bye.
All right, yeah, that's Mike and Adam with Renegade Products USA, Joe Duncan with Terracross. That was our Optima Starts with Terracross segment, and like I said, Amy, once in a while, a relationship just makes sense, and a cleaning company with Terracross. Yeah, after ERX, you and I and it was like I think only one steam cleaner worked, and it was like. Oh, man.
Yeah, it did.
It was such a train wreck. And like you said, we were blowing mud on each other. It's like you'd blow it off yours and it'd blow onto the one next to it. It was like, my goodness. It was definitely entertaining. But we're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, Amy and I, the next 2 segments, we're taking fan questions. We're talking Supercross. We're talking Monster Jam. Amy and I don't get a chance to do this very often. It's full-on freestyle for the next 2 segments. We're doing what we want, when we want, and talking about whatever we want. So we want your fan questions. We're excited for that, and we're going to talk just a little of everything the next 2 segments. It's going to be fun here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RZRLife to share your story. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the Amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver and Amy Hood here, and next 2 segments going to be a bit of fun. We're just going to talk whatever the heck we want to talk about, catch up on all things radness, Amy Hood. I think we'll wait for questions for till later in this segment and then the next segment, just because I know we've got some people still sending stuff in and things like that. But did you get a chance to kind of pay any attention to Supercross over the weekend? Because I know I didn't get a chance to, other than I know who won.
I did.
You did?
I did because
that
obviously
work?
I've been following my homies. I did because I'm following my friends, and so I got the live app, which is great for those, and obviously fellow athletes where, usually racing or driving something on the weekend. So getting the app is super key to be able to follow along. You get up to date, qualifying times, and you can follow along. I used to follow on Twitter because Twitter actually gives really good live updates if you follow Racer X or Transworld.com or Transworld Moto. So, but then I ended up getting the app, and so I can follow my friends, and I always have to kind of, send a congratulations text message. And congratulations to Jeremy Martin, who finally pulled one out of, his sack of goodies. We talked about how great of an outdoor rider he is, and, he finally was able to pull it together to, be top of the box finally at Indy this weekend. So congratulations goes out to him. And, we refriended each other. We talked about, before, obviously, Jim. But it's cool to keep up with your friends. It's cool to, follow their progress. And likewise, people always ask me, I had so many text messages from, a lot of my fellow racers, how did World Finals go this weekend? So it's just really important to kind of keep up with it. And I haven't been able to attend a Supercross for so long. But, Jim, I think we finally put it together that you and I are going to go and attend the finals in Las Vegas for the last Supercross round.
We got to try and make it to that one. I got to see how it slots into my schedule. Things are getting bananas now, but I'll apply for.
I'll be there. If anything, I'll hold the reins and I'll get there.
No, we'll do that for sure. We'll get you your mic set up, and I'll get credentials coming for both of us, and then if I can go,
I don't need credentials. We own Supercross, so my Monster Jam credentials are actually.
I'll check you out. Well, why don't you get me credentials then? Get me credentials.
I can, no problem.
I got you IndyCar credentials. You can get me Supercross credentials.
Oh, I can. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you, dude. I got you, boo.
All right. Hey, and I'm gonna put you on the spot. You and Jeremy Martin are friends. How come we haven't had him on the show yet? We got to get Martin lined up for this deal. This is radness.
And we will. I'll text him after the show. He is a funny character as well. I think it would be a pretty interesting interview. His progression and his maturity and how he started to where he is now. You can even tell through social media that. He's a lot more comfortable. He's, loves his team, loves his ride. It's all working for him. He's letting his personality out. There's a lot of pressure being, a multi-year outdoor champion and, maybe not doing as good in Supercross, maybe having a bad year. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of eyes. And it can be really hard for a younger athlete, he's not young, but he's younger. A couple of years ago, rookie, there's so much hype around somebody, and if you don't meet expectations, it could be a lot on a person. And I think he kind of found his groove now, and, he's a lot more comfortable and confident in, himself. And it really does show, and it shows in social media, which is a great representation of, athletes. It is. And I think now if we're having him on the show now, opposed to maybe 2 years ago, we'd get a completely different interview out of him. So definitely let's line up to have Jeremy Martin, killed it this weekend in Indy. It'd be really cool to talk to him and, see what his predictions are for outdoors because, that's his strong suit and where he's going to excel.
Yeah, well, and and one thing that I think is interesting note too is like we haven't even talked about the brother thing, right? With Jeremy and Alex, like they love each other, but like there's got to be, there's a little competitiveness between brothers, like there just is,
Well, obviously I know the whole background.
Yeah,
I
know everything,
exactly,
but
everything. Yeah, but you know what? What's cool is that these kids grew up at Millville. If you don't know, their family owns that track. I've been going there since I was on a 50. I've been at that track when my mom was pregnant with me, and she was hauling ass around that track, walking, with me in her stomach, it's crazy because I've been going there that long. Like every single year, we never missed Millville. These kids grew up at the most. It's one of the toughest outdoor national tracks. The terrain's the up and down, the up and down hills, and then the whoops, the legendary sand whoop set. They're man makers, they're called. But, it really does show, their riding style and, that he did really good in Daytona. Indy is a very aggressive track. But, it's cool because you have the brotherhood camaraderie. They're on different teams, so you don't have really that team rivalry because when you're on a factory race team, it's important to be the best of, either the 2 or 3 or 4 riders. So you at least don't have that rivalry. But it's been really cool because you've kind of seen a flip-flop. You've seen Alex excel. He is the older brother. Then you see Jeremy kind of put his nose in there. And then you see Jeremy make 2 successful outdoor years. And then he had some struggling times, and you've seen Alex excel, and you've seen him, running at the top of the pack. And, Alex he was always kind of the bridesmaid. He was running in top, 8 to 15. Never really would crack the top 5, maybe once in a blue moon. And then, he was on the box every weekend, and it was really cool to see, and it was cool to see the camaraderie between the two. And it'd be interesting to talk about that, whether, one brother's success fuels the fire for the other, if they help each other. I actually don't know that, and it would be really interesting, but it's been cool to watch. And as a bystander and as friends of both of them, to watch that transition between brothers. And I think that's the only, other than the Stewarts, and they race separate classes, 250 and 450. The Martins are the only other brothers who compete against each other, other than, James and Malcolm.
Yeah, well, and James and Malcolm, I got a little info. So Antron Brown, who raced the Mint with me, he's best friends with the Stewarts. Like, they hang out, they go dirt bike riding. Yeah. He talks to James on a daily basis. Even now, he talks to James on a daily basis. And so I got some info on that, but he was talking about Malcolm, and I think we'll definitely have Malcolm on the show at some point soon. But he was saying, like, Malcolm, it was interesting because he came to motocross very late. He wasn't interested. He wasn't interested at all. And then he saw James killing it, and he goes, hey, I think I can do that too. And it was one of those where, like, older brother can do that. Well, the heck, I can do that too. And so he came to it very, very late. And to see the career he's had just for somebody, most of these kids are shredding it at, 3, 4, 5, and for Malcolm to come as a teenager to it, like, that's really late to be as successful as he is.
Well, he always rode, but he probably never took, James was the elite of the kids, and so Malcolm obviously rode for fun. But the thing is, when you start, I don't know his background, but I assure you, I believe he started young. I do remember Malcolm, Loretta is the name, but he was never really like the iconic kid like James was.
Yeah.
So he probably took a, big seat on the back burner, but through those years of watching, being at the track, riding at even an amateur level, when you start young, you build such a strong base. You develop such technical skills. It's the best way to get a longevity in this career. And we always talk about that. But a lot of kids who come up and have no skills at all and come in on, as a teenager, they have no base. But having a brother like James Bubba Stewart to watch builds you enough base as it is, right? And so, but yeah, it's been really cool, and it's really cool to see, if you even hear interviews, James always talks about Malcolm on the podium. Malcolm always talks about James. they are such great support systems for each other. I love seeing that.
Yeah. Well, and how rad is it to have a brother that's that good? I mean, the Martins or the Stewarts, like a brother that's that good. Like, you can pick their brain. You know what I mean? And you have full trust in that brother. You know, it's not like, you know, it's like that's a pretty amazing asset to have as a racer, you know?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And, even for me, when I would get hurt, but I would go to a lot of the outdoor nationals and supercrosses, probably the year that I was hurt and, you know, took a bystander but watched a lot, listened a lot, I learned so much, and my riding style really changed because I was paying attention and I was there to learn, and it helped me quite, way more than I thought. Like, you thought going out to the training facility and putting in hard laps was the only and best way to train. But it's not. You got to watch and listen. And being a spectator who was there to learn, it helped me quite a bit.
Yeah,
so, I can only imagine, you know, what that's been like for them.
If watching and listening is training for Supercross, I am training at an elite level right now.
Yeah.
I'm watching and listening to a whole lot
I
of
don't
it.
know. You gotta have a base there, Jimmy.
I'm
Never
like,
seen you on a dirt
you
bike
just
or
call me
if I
Jeremy
wanted.
McGrath 2.0 if it's just watching and listening. I got that Supercross dialed.
Oh my goodness. Okay then.
It's getting deep in here. Oh man. So yeah, we got 1 minute. We're gonna go to break and then we'll get to fan questions. But I gotta ask you, because I think this dude deserves some props. Who is Luke Renzland that got third in the main event in 250s? I'd never heard of this guy until yesterday or this weekend.
Luke's been around for quite a while. He's been around for quite a while, but one of those good old boy kids. You know, he's off the radar because he doesn't have a lot of drama around him. Super cool. He's been around for quite a while. You know, great athlete, great outdoor rider. He's one of those kids who's been working up the chain, and this is definitely not going to be the last time you see him on the top of the box.
Yeah, looked like he did GNCC before
this
or something.
A lot of people put get in there, and then they get burnt out, or they go crash stuck. You know, he has been at it for so long, and you know, we're finally starting to see his name over and over again. That, you know, now is his time. He's not injured. You know, he hasn't got burnt out, and obviously he's, you know, made enough name for himself that he's, you know, we're talking about him on the radio show here. So this is not the last time that we're going to talk about Luke Renzland, and we should bring him on the show too. We are good friends.
Yeah,
so.
we should ring him on for sure. We're going to take a short break, come back, lots of fan questions. Hit us up. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, and we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, along with Amy Hood. I am Jim Beaver. It's at Jim Beaver 15, at Amy Hood 71, and soon to be later this week, that new account I told you about earlier on Instagram for the Down and Dirty Radio Show that Amy and I will both be admins for. So I don't know the handle yet, but I'll get that to you guys here in the next couple of days as we get all the stuff purged out of there that needs to be purged out. So Q&A time. We got some requests coming in, Amy Hood. One, my good friend Adam Robledo that went to high school with, he listens to the show every week. He wants us to do a little GNCC coverage. So we can definitely do that, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to do some GNCC coverage.
I know a lot of the riders, so.
Everyone talks about it. Like, there's always, it's kind of cool because a lot of people, instead of talking about motos, they're like, oh, yeah, I know I ride GNC. I'm like, I can't believe how big that series has gotten in the last couple of years. And I find it because it's really safe. Like, nowadays, people don't want to go out and go hit a 75-foot triple and, do the moto thing. Like, GNC is cool. And it's a level that people can start and be good at, when you're 15 years old and buy a dirt bike. When you're 25 years old, buy a bike, and they're not necessarily comfortable racing the 250C class, at a moto track. GNC is a great place to start, and especially in the Midwest, it's huge.
Yeah, it's big. I've got a lot of friends that race there. I mean, I know the top level riders. Like, we can get them on. Like, that's no problem. And a lot of our good friends like Moonlight doing some of that. They bounce around and do a few like Endurocross and GNCC. So yeah, that's a done deal. We can make that happen. Kind of along those lines, I talked to Jackie. Jacqueline Carrizosa, a.k.a. Bro Jack, yesterday. Her and I were texting. I was seeing if she was racing her dirt bike at the UTV World. She's not, but she told me a little interesting info. I'm going to go out and be her pit crew at some event this year. She's racing her dirt bike at MRAN, basically it's smaller regional desert races, all in preparation for Vegas to Reno this year. She wants to Iron Woman Vegas to Reno again and get that finisher pin, she said. Yeah. So she's doing like a string of events to train to do Vegas to Reno in August. And I told her, I'm like, Jackie, 560 miles on a dirt bike? I said, no joke. I said, but she's so determined. I guarantee you she's going to get that finisher pin this year. But
if anybody can do it, it's that girl. And we got to I feel like I need to learn. I want to go and be her pit crew too, because I've never believed in some chick more than I believe in that girl. I think that girl can, there's something that she wants. The fact that she's even going to prepare for it like that, like she is, just goes to show her level of determination and belief in herself. And it's so badass. I respect that a lot as an athlete, and I respect it a lot as her friend. Yeah. She puts in the work and, what's needed to be done when not a lot of people do. Yeah. They think they're going to do something, and they kind of half-ass it.
Jackie's all in.
Full butts it.
Jackie is all in.
She doesn't half-ass it.
She's just a rad human being. Not that she does rad things, just on a human level. Like you said, if she ever puts her mind to something, you know what's going to happen. If she looked at me and said, Jimmy, I'm going to be president, like I'd be like, all right, where do I sign up to help you? Because I know you're going to be president. You know, it's like she's no joke.
So cool.
And if she calls, she's one of those friends. If she calls and needs a favor, she doesn't ask for help ever. So if she calls and says, hey, Jimmy, can you do this? You do it because you know she really needs it. She's not one of those friends that phones it in. Like if she's asking something, like you drop everything and go help Jackie because like it's legit if she's asking.
She's not one of those people who calls and asks you about sponsorships when they, you know, think that you live on the West Coast kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's an inside joke between Jimmy and I. But no, I feel like Jackie and I, we really like mirror each other's careers, and it's cool because she's actually told me that a lot. Like you know, where I met her a couple of years ago, the girl used to pick me up in her pickup truck with her puppy dog at the airport whenever I'd come to Vegas for Supercross and the Mint, and then boom, like you know, her career started to excel and.
Her social media blew up, like on Facebook and Instagram. It's like, holy crap! But
and it really happened at the Mint. You know, at the Mint is where we met. And the Mint, like, she was not really anybody. She was like doing a lot of fitness, you know, amateur dirt biker, and you know, we grew this friendship, and it's really cool because I think it really mirrors my own career. I wanted to drive a monster truck. I went to one race, and I said, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I figured out how to do it. And I appreciate people who look at life the same way. People who see something that they want to do, and it's not an option. It is plan A, and there's no plan B. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure out the steps I need to take to get there, but that's what I'm going to do. It's not what I want to do. It's what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I think it's the exact same thing with her to Vegas to Reno. She's going to Iron Woman and going to finish. It's not, I would like to. Like, she's determined that she's going to do it. And that's the only way you can look at life. Like, life's hard enough. You can't really second guess yourself and have any doubts. That's the first way to failure. You know, it's optimism at the first, at the first sight of your goal.
Yeah, she's awesome. And if you guys, like, seriously, and we got to go to fan questions, but and this is not like self-promotion, but Amy and I did a podcast with Jackie like 4 or 5 months back on Project Action.
Hearing her story.
Her story is unreal. If you guys don't know who we're talking about, she goes by at Brojaq, BROJAQ on Instagram, and I think Facebook as well. But the girl is, go and listen to that podcast. You want to talk about a veteran who's overcome stuff in her life at a young age to get where she's at. It's crazy. But yeah, like Amy and I could go on about her for days because she's just a rad human being. But we got questions, and we only got a little bit of time since we've kind of blown through this segment. But that's how we go. But I do have to say, Trevis Pointer, who, this guy, he's asking questions. I'm like, man, he could be hosting this radio show. Guy's got legit UTV creds. But how soon do you think Lucas will go national? 2019? Absolutely. I think we're going to see 2019 a full merge series. Hands down, from what Marty said and then what I'm seeing and hearing, 2019, there's one series, and it's going to run coast to coast or Midwest to West Coast, I think. I think it's just hands down 2019 is the year that's going to happen. So here we go. We got a couple of them. This one was I got it 4 times on Facebook last week on DMs, and then on a post. I posted a picture of the trophy truck. When are you racing the trophy truck again? Yeah, I know I still own that thing, and it's being rebuilt right now. We are going to race it tentatively at Laughlin in October. So I think that's the game plan, is going to run that 2-day Laughlin event in October in the trophy truck. So I might do double duty. I might run the Razor Saturday, the trophy truck Saturday and Sunday or something like that. So I might do double duty at Laughlin in October, but that is the plan. This one, we got a couple of them from Amy. Or not from Amy, but for Amy. First one, Mike in Dallas. Amy, I haven't seen you on TV. I'm just going to ad-lib here because it's kind of long, but I haven't seen you on TV. How do you get to do the stadium shows and race on TV in Monster Jam? That's pretty much a cut to the chase from Mike in Dallas. So how do you go from what you're doing to the stadium shows?
I got to earn it, man. Like I got to work my way into it, and I understand that. I think I'm making the right steps, and I get to go back to Paxton at Monster Jam University and train to do some stadium driving, which is like, steps in the right direction. And obviously I'm doing the right things because they invited me to go do that. But, we got to earn my place. The people who are driving stadium are very deserving. Cynthia Gauthier, this was her first year that she actually got, to participate in the full show, in the freestyle show at World Finals. She wasn't a double down competitor anymore. And no other girl was so deserving of that. And like, I get it. Like, I'm okay where I am at. Like, I have a lot to learn. And so I'll appreciate my move up when they feel I'm ready. I'm ready now. Don't get me wrong. But I understand that there's a lot of people who put in a lot of effort, been here a long time as well, and I'm enjoying the process. I've learned so much this year. I learned so much at World Finals, and I really have a very different perspective driving this year, and even being at World Finals and being able to watch and learn as I did this year. The hype has kind of come down, the adrenaline rush, and, everything from the first year of driving a Monster Jam truck. It's simmered a bit now, and now I can actually sit back and really study and learn and get it a lot more. So, there's going to be a time when I transition to stadium and I transition to the FS1 tour, which is televised, and I'm ready. I'm ready for it, but I understand I have a long way to go. It took me, 20-some years to be a great motocross racer. It ain't going to take me that long to be a great Monster Jam driver, but I'm getting there. So stay tuned.
Put in the work.
And, Colt Stevens and Bari are doing such an amazing job as well. And I feel like you learn so much in an arena. You learn about the truck. You learn about finesse, throttle control, being cool, calm, and collective. That's the best place for me to be right now. Where I need to build my skill set is absolutely on a triple threat arena tour. That's where I'm going to learn the most.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. This one, I guess, is for me and you, kind of. This is Leon in Indianapolis, which I will be at like 3 times this year, 4 times, something like that, maybe 5, I don't, depending on what my month of May looks like. But wants to know what events are we going to be live at? So I guess I will be live at the UTV World Championship. Amy has some obligations next weekend that we can't talk about. But I'll do a show. It might be pre-taped at the UTV Worlds. But then Amy and I will both be at the Long Beach Grand Prix for like 3 or 4 days. We're doing a ton of interviews. We got some really fun stuff lined up. She doesn't even realize what we've got lined up yet. That's going to be so rad. So Long Beach Grand Prix, I will be spending my month of May in Indianapolis at the Indy 500 at the Grand Prix, and then I will be at I'll be at the Indy 500, or actually Indy qualifying, and then I will be at the General Tire ARCA race in Charlotte, and then I think Memorial Weekend I will actually be doing radio in Silverstone, England at the World Rallycross race in England in the UK, and then I'll be at Terracross, whichever round starts that, and then I'll be at Crandon, and then I don't know. I got Bark River. I'm all over the place, and Amy and I think we're mixing in maybe a Supercross round in May too. So those are what I'll be at. I don't know how much crossing over Amy and my schedules are yet, because I don't know what her calendar is. So like when Amy and I can fit them in where she's got a free weekend, we try to do it together, but we don't know what her schedule looks like yet, right?
Honestly, I have no idea. It changes by the week, the day, the month. And it's all over the map. And especially with Monster Jam, I'm trying to make some moves there. We try to make stuff happen. Everything kind of comes as it goes. So
yeah, Long Beach Grand Prix is the short answer.
In life, that you cannot plan anything other than really big events like World Finals. Like MEC, we're going to Indy. Events you can, but when stuff pops up, you got to go for it. Wing it.
So the short answer is we know of one event right now, and it happens in like 2.5 weeks, and that's the Long Beach Grand Prix. So if you're going to the Stadium Super Trucks, the Formula Drift, the IMSA, or the IndyCar race, all that happens in the course of 2 days, which I'm very excited about, like all things rad happening at one event. In Long Beach, Amy and I will be there, and we'll be doing radio and interviews and a whole bunch of rad stuff. So hit us up on social media, and we'll definitely link up. But past that, we don't know what we'll be at together this year.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is, this amazing news that I have to let the world know. The Jim knows, but I can't release it yet until it happens. But you might actually be able to follow along, wink, wink, on, live action and live, live feeds from,
whatever place this is. Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to blow it out. Obviously, we're going to talk about it on the Down and Dirty Radio Show. Release it here, release it, but it's coming soon, guys. Follow along my social media. I have probably the biggest news I'll ever have in my entire life dropping next week. So stay tuned.
All right. We got to take a short break. Amy and I will wrap things up after this here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty Radio Show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, and we're back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, wrapping things up. We got UTV World Championship, some more Supercross coming at you the next couple of weeks, Formula Drift, IndyCar, Stadium Super Trucks. I don't know what, Formula Drift, Rally. I don't know. It's bananas the next couple of weeks. Everything. So I am at Jim Beaver 15. Amy is at Amy Hood 71. Make sure and subscribe over there on iTunes to this show as well as Project Action. Use that coupon code JB Dirtfish at Dirtfish Rally School for 15% off. Big thanks to Polaris RZR, General Tire, Subaru, Vision, Wheel, Casey Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish, Impact, Optimus, MotoShield Pro, Terracross, and the Blue Water Resort and Casino. You got any words of wisdom to leave us with, Amy, before we check out here?
No, I mean, you guys got to tune in to Monster Jam's Facebook Live. There's lots of stuff on there. You know, tune into their Twitter and everything. You can get highlights and recaps of Monster Jam World Finals. It was one of the best events I've ever been to in my life. Very proud of my driving and all of my, fellow athletes and camaraderies, and it's got to check it out. There's been some really cool stuff going on. Big shout out to Justin Sipes. He did fantastic, in his very first Monster Jam freestyle event at World Finals, and it's just so cool. Lots of cool highlights. Go check it out on monsterjam.com and Monster Jam's Facebook account.
All right, and with that, we are going to check out, and we got a massive show next week. Be sure and tune in for that. Be safe, as always.
Go big.
Yeah, go big, and game on.